Have you ever thought to yourself, wow, when I do my nails, they do not last? Or my manicures don't last? Well, you're in the right place. Hello, my name is Katie Masters, aka Nail Thoughts on Instagram and all of the other places. I am a nail tech. I am a nail artist, whatever you want to call it, such as me. We're just gonna go over the top 5 mistakes that I see people make with their gel manicures, whether you're a DIYer or a nail tech. I get a lot of questions, so I'm putting it in a video. We're gonna solve this mystery. Mistake number 1, water. Water is actually one of the worst things for your nails. So basically the reason why is because your nails are like, consider your nails like sponges, right? So like your nails have the ability to soak up 3 times their amount of weight in water. So what happens is, like, have you ever noticed after you get out of a shower or like swimming or whatever it may be, a bath, whatever, your nails are like really squishy? It's because they soaked up all that water. So when they soak up the water, they expand. So your nails are pretty much expanded for just like, I don't know, maybe like a good hour or so, 30 minutes to like an hour, until they shrink back up to their normal size after like the water sort of evaporates. And our body only produces like a very small amount of oil a day for our nails. Like our nails are like super forgotten about, you know? So what happens is that oil gets rinsed away just like that, like in a shower. When we wash our hands, it just gets rinsed away like immediately. So when we wash our hands and do all of that, then by the end of the day, our nails are like super brittle and they snap and break. So that's why nail oil is really good. It's not just cuticle oil, it's nail oil. You like put it on your nails, you know, like, and under your nails as well, because your nails can absorb it. So just a tip, if you want really strong natural nails, just apply oil multiple times a day. Have it like at your desk, you know, and just put it all over your nails instead of just on the cuticles. I don't like the name cuticle oil because I feel like it's misleading, you know? You want it like on your nails. Anyway, that wasn't the point. That was just a little side note tip. But like, have you ever been to a nail salon and they soak your nails in water beforehand? It's not like bad, it's just not gonna be worth it for your manicures. So like, if you put since we're talking about gel manicures, if you soak your nails in water, like thinking you're doing like a little spa day, your nails are soaking, your nails are expanding, and then when you put the gel on top of an expanded surface in an hour or 2, the nails are gonna slowly shrink back up to the normal size, and this is not gonna shrink back up with it, so it's gonna loosen the polish bond, loosen the gel bond, and then it's just gonna pop off. So don't do that. So when you're doing your own gel manicure, or if you're a nail tech, no water, you know? And I would recommend, if you're doing your own gel manicure, don't do it right after you get out of the shower. Just do it like maybe 30 minutes after, 30 minutes to an hour, because you want your nails to be back on their normal state. Next one, number 2. What was number 2? Number 2 is not buffing the surface of your nail before you put the gel on. Okay, I've seen this with my friend who's like really into doing her own gel manicures at home now. She made this mistake, and I think a lot of people are making this mistake at home because they're worried. So let me explain. Here's what I mean. Gel does not like smooth and shiny surfaces. Please ignore my nails, all right? I am busy, okay? See how shiny my nails are? Gel does not like smooth and shiny surfaces at all. Think of it like, someone once told me, like, it's like a Velcro. Velcro will not stick to like this. It needs to hook on to something. See? And what happens is, sometimes I think a lot of people do their nails at home and they're worried about like damaging their nails, when you actually need to use a file to like really rough up the surface of the nail. Let me just show you what it would look like if I were to apply base coat on this nice and smooth and shiny surface, okay? Okay, I'm just gonna cure that. I don't wanna do the whole nail. So prep work is like super key because without the proper foundation and prep work, then your nails are not gonna last. So this is the whole point of what I'm doing right now, is if you're not gonna buff the surface of your nail, and if you're not gonna prep the gel or prep the nail for the gel to like really hook onto, then it's not gonna last. It's gonna come off like right away. So let me just cure this and hopefully this will work. Okay, I cured it, right? It's hard. Ta-da! It was a smooth and shiny surface. So now what's gonna happen is it's not gonna actually properly be on. So let's see if I can find a little thing. Let me pinch the side a little bit of my nail. Look at that. Do you see this? All I did was just bend my nail a little bit underneath it, and that is lifting. And then if I did it enough, it just keeps going. So I can literally just peel this off. So if you're just living your normal life, your gel is just gonna come right off because it's not actually hooked on. Look at this. Bloop. Just nice and satisfying. Oh my God, I'm so glad this is working. I was worried it wouldn't. I just remember it happened to me once because I was lazy. Bloop. That should not happen. So that's literally because it was a very smooth and shiny surface. Ta-da! So what you're gonna do to remedy that is take your little file and properly prep your nail. I know it seems scary, but you wanna use a nice, like gentle sort of emery board file to actually buff it. Like, look, I'm really like light. It's not going to damage your nail because again, your nail has so many different layers that this is just buffing and roughing up the surface layer of your nail. And you want to make sure any sort of shiny surface is gone. You want to make it nice and matte. If there's any shine, then the gel's not going to stick to that portion. Like, let's say you like missed a shiny spot right there. The gel is going to do exactly what I just showed you did. So there we go. Put that down. And then what I like to do is usually just take the buffer afterwards and buff out any like pokies and get any sort of small missing spot. But I got pretty much everything with my file. And boom. You can tell it's very matte. Another mistake that my friend made, she's gonna be watching this like, what the hell? She took like a really soft buffer and she was just like, oh, let me just gently do it. And I'm assuming she did this because she was too scared of like damaging her nails, right? So she was just like, perfect, that's totally fine. It's not. You still didn't even create like any sort of like friction for it. So yeah, that's mistake number 2, is not buffing your nail enough and not like roughing up the surface. The word rough sounds rough, so let's just say like, let's just use buffing. You need to like buff the surface, otherwise it's gonna pop off. The third mistake I see is not getting rid of all of the cuticle and dead skin on the nail. So cuticle is kind of like misleading because I feel like everyone thinks of cuticle as being right here, right? This little area right here. That's actually called the eponychium, which is a little complicated. I mean, it's fine to call it cuticle, but you have to understand that the cuticle actually grows onto your nail. It's dead skin that grows onto your nail. Do you see this? Just file it right up. That is cuticle, and that's growing on your nail. It's not just up here at that skin. It is on your nail, and gel hates that. If gel were to touch it, it's gonna either like shrink, it's gonna lift, it's gonna have a lot of issues. Let's see if I can find more right here. Yeah, see that? Look at that. That is your cuticle right there. That's really satisfying. So you can either use an E-file, like a cuticle bit, or you can take your little file again, and especially if you're an at-home like DIYer, is you go around gently filing it away. I personally use an E-file because the little bit is so small and it gets all in there and it's very satisfying. But again, if you're just like an at-home DIYer, just do a little of this action, and then maybe when you feel like you got a lot of it, take your buffer. Also don't forget that cuticle also grows on the sidewalls as well. So yeah, I use the buffer to like really like get in there, and then push up the cuticle as well. Just like push it out of the way. All right, so you want to make sure you get all that skin out of the way. So you can see that skin is still there in the corners. So you want to be as thorough as possible with this step. Otherwise, that gel is going to lift right off of that cuticle because it's skin. It's not going to adhere. It's meant to adhere to the nail, not the skin. So it's going to lift. That's going to cause issues. It's going to get caught in your hair, and it's going to be genuinely really annoying. So mistake number 3, not paying attention to the skin on your nail and not getting it out of your way. And if you want to see how I remove my cuticle, you can go to plenty of my other videos. I think my most recent video, like of me doing my own nails, it shows nice and up close on how I use my cuticle bit to get in there. Which leads us into the 4th mistake, and that is curing the gel on your skin. The second you cure the gel on the skin, it's game over. Like, it's not, gel is not like normal polish. You can't just like wipe it off. It's gonna suck. Basically, it's what's gonna happen. If you cure it in like on top of the cuticle right here, right? Like, it gets caught on this skin. Like, whenever gel senses any sort of piece of dust or any sort of piece of skin, it's just gonna flood the whole nail. If you don't get any of like all the skin and dust out of the way, then the gel is gonna tell you. So you're just excited, you're right? You like did it, and then you look and you see right here, up in there, the gel is stuck in that cuticle. You can use a little, like a wood stick to scoop it out. You could just use your thumbnail. But what's gonna happen is when that cures, I'm not curing my nail like this. When it cures, that little piece is gonna turn into a little ledge and grow out and get caught in your hair, and you can literally just peel it off. Like, it'll just be like the perfect little handle to just like peel off. And look, you can kind of see right here, I left that skin there, and you can see the gel is attracted to it almost and just floods. So that skin is touching this part right here of your finger, and so the second the gel touches it, it's all just gonna be flooded. So yeah, all of this is gonna come off. All of this is gonna lift, because if it's not on the nail, then it's not gonna work. Next tip, number 5. Is it number 5 already? Whatever. Number 5 is a bad curing lamp. And what I mean is like your LED light, your UV light. For the most part, I feel like all gels are LED/UV, which basically means that it can cure in both LED and UV lights. Check the bottles of your gel. It usually will say like LED/UV or UV/LED. I've seen a lot of people buy, I don't have it on hand, but a lot of people buy these little tiny curing lamps that aren't necessarily made for full-on gel manicures. They're made for just like one nail, just to freeze the gel and before a full real cure. And that is definitely a no-no. Those things are only made, those little like sort of like beetle lamps are made for basically just like holding gel into place while you're like doing extensions, and like just really accessible before a full lamp cure. So definitely invest in like a better curing unit if you're going to be doing a lot of your gel manicures at home. I actually wrote a whole blog post especially for DIYers because I came out with my own gel collection. And a lot of people had questions because a lot of DIYers were buying it, because obviously a lot of us are doing our nails at home, all that jazz. But I wrote a whole blog post of basically what you need for your whole desk setup if you were to do your nails at home. And I will link it in the description. I almost said bio. I will link it in the description, and it is super helpful. It's just a bunch of links on things you need for your desk setup and things you need for your like gel manicure, like at home DIY manicures. And also I think some of my products are there because why not, you know? And there you have it. That is the top 5 mistakes that I've seen people make with their at-home gel manicures or salon manicures. No shame. We've all made mistakes. We have all been the beginner, you know, but I just wanted to throw those out there because I think it could probably help a lot of people. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Also, I linked 1 or 2 videos of me doing my own nails and or my clients' nails, so definitely look at those if you really want to see it in action. And my blog posts with my gel collection All that is linked in the description. It's all there for you. Comment what other videos or questions you might have too.